Hi, Miss Veta. I'm PM. For the Q2 reflection on what I've learned in the standards. So, in Q2, mainly I learned about three things, which is from chapter 4, 5, and 6. The first one is about the kinetic particle theory. So basically, it's about it's all matter made up of tiny particles, which uh, there are three states of matter, which is solid, liquid, and gas. So in for gas, so for solid, the particles stays packed, is packed packed together, closely packed together in uh, in in like uh, in orderly form, so it it cannot move freely, so it can just vibrate in their place. And for liquid, the particles still stays close together, but they can slightly touch each other, so it can pass over. And uh, it has a neutral force attraction. Yeah, so for the gas state, the particles stay separate and far apart from each other, so they can move freely in any direction they want, and they has a very weak force attraction. And there's also about diffusion and Brownian motion, which for Brownian motion, it's the random motion of gas particles. So for example, when we uh see the dust from the when the sun shines, we can see the small particles of dust that flies around in the air. It's because of the Brownian motion. And for diffusion, it's like uh gas and liquid diffuse, but solid do not. So for liquid, for example, when I have a beaker filled with water, and then I drop some iodine crystal, and then when after 5 minutes the water slowly turns into purple, it's because of the particles diffuses. And the liquid particles diffuse slower than gas particles, because as I said that gas particles stay separate from each other, so it has a greater distance between particles, causing it to move in more distance and spread faster. Yeah. And for the next, I mean, wait, the example that an example that can go through all of the states is water. So in solid it is ice, and then liquid is water, and then gas is the water vapor. And there's also a diagram that shows from solid to liquid state, it's solid to liquid state by melting, and from liquid to gas is evaporating. And then there's also one change of state called sublimation, in which solid changes to gas without passing through liquid. Yeah. And for the next standard I've learned is about acid, base, and salt. So acid is a substance that produces hydrogen, and then bases is a substance that uh, reacts with acid and then forms a salt. So after I learned, I found out that it's a science that is so near to me. So for acid, it's I know that it is the properties are it tastes sour, it conduct electricity, and the pH scale is lower than 7. And for bases, it tastes bitter and the pH scale is greater than 7. And for like a common acid that I can find at my home, it's like lime, lemon, or like an acidic juice, fruit juice, for example, like an orange juice, it is acidic. And for a common basis I found at my home, it's like baking soda when I use it to bake something, or the ammonia, or the window cleaner. Yeah. So like there's after I learned, I really know that like the things that I learned is not that far from me, that I can like really know like what is really it, and like can know like I can like compare which one is acid or which one is base. And the next standards I learned about is about solute, solvent, and solution. So solute is basically a solid, or we can say that it's a substance that uh use used for like the solvent to dissolve. So solvents, basically it's like a liquid substance which like dissolves solute, and after we dissolve the solute into the solvent, it is called a solution. So for example, the solute is sugar and then the solvent is water, and then after I mix it together and it dissolves, it becomes a solution. And there's also a state in which it's called saturated, in where when we dissolve the substance, and it's insoluble, which means that like not all of the particles dissolve. Yeah. So after I learned all of these, the three main things, I found out that science or chemistry is not that far from me, that I can really see or use it at home. For example, use brushing my teeth, I already use like a basis, which is a toothpaste. And like uh it's really useful for me, because like after I know, I could like be able to explain to others, or like have like or gain more knowledge from me about each topics. Yeah. So thank you.